Oh, Tyler, what's up, man?
Thought I felt something touch my toes.
That's that's disturbing. It's definitely off-putting.
Thank you.
Listen, I had to wear my Logan Paul shirt. Couple reasons. One, and most importantly, Logan Paul's the GOAT. Two, secondary, I need to. This is a visual reminder that I have to get that shirt done and get those things out to you
Yeah.
guys. So that's all this is. This is my penance. Be like, hey, I gotta get that done. So I'm on it. I'm on it. It's been a bit better, busy couple of weeks. Oh, get out of here. Uh, yeah. See,
Little
I was gonna make
MJF for
this.
everybody.
Yeah. I was gonna make this civil today, but we're bringing out MJF when I'm talking about the goat. We're bringing out MJF.
He couldn't lace MJF's boots.
Oh, that's silly. That's silly. MJF wears loafers. Uh, got the Modelo in honor of all these beautiful luchadors we have.
Yeah, we will get to the Ray Phoenix
Yeah.
debut as well.
Well, hey, let's welcome everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Kayfabe Marks podcast. My name's Adam. That's
Tyler?
Tyler. And we're ready to talk to you today, man. We've got some real quick kind of recaps, and then mine's not too bad. Mine's not too bad. Just gonna some real quick recaps, and we got a quick top five that should be interesting, or top 10, I should say, that should be interesting. Um, we haven't really done anything like it before. Well, we've done stuff like it, but not
We've
like
done stuff like it, but I don't think we've done just a straight women's anything.
Yeah, I really don't think so. I'm starting to feel like we are Vince McMahon's
Yeah, super
chopping
sexist.
pieces. I know
Super
we're gonna
sexist.
right our wrongs, folks. We apologize. So
Maybe. They don't know what I'm about to say.
that's a good point. You might come up with just big fat zeros on all these, or just gold dust throughout all of them. Every gold dust match.
What do you want to start with? Should we do news and rumors?
Yeah. Well, hey, let's just. What if we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do news and rumors, and then we'll go into, because we got some big talking points in the recaps.
All right.
So
Okay. Ticket sales for the WWE Hall of Fame are low, but WWE denies allegations of using the induction of WrestleMania 13's match between Stone Cold and Bret Hart into the Hall of Fame to drive up ticket sales, saying it was always planned to start inducting matches into the Hall of Fame. So people are saying that because the sales are so low, they had to come up with some sort of gimmick to get people to go.
yeah, I don't.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Even if it did, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, isn't that business? Isn't business just one gimmick after another? You know,
If you ask me, it is.
yeah, it's just people buying your stuff, however you make it happen. So,
But yeah, it doesn't hold water to me. I believe WWE didn't do this to drive up ticket sales, and who the hell's buying a ticket because they inducted a match into the Hall of Fame?
I'm maybe to hopefully see those two, but that'd be about it.
Yeah, if Brett even goes, is he gonna go?
Right? Yeah, I don't know. He's been
Probably
around a
not.
lot though. So,
Yeah. Wrestling Observer Newsletter says WWE denied reports that NXT star Julia was banged up and would be taking time off, and that's why Stephanie Vaquer won both titles. Isn't that kind of already confirmed that she's hurt?
I thought that was the whole reason for all this. I don't really see why you did it otherwise.
I've seen
So,
her do a couple dark matches, so
yeah.
she's back, but I think she's, light in the foot still. Doesn't want to re-injure whatever. They never disclosed even what the injuries were.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the two, she definitely came in. Julia definitely came in, um, and it what seemed like with a little less confidence than Stephanie did. She really kind of took over. So maybe they also just want to back up a little bit and just reevaluate what they're doing with those two. I do know that Stephanie's defending that title. I think the North American title next week,
Didn't
I
she
believe.
drop it?
Did she? I don't. I maybe. I
Yeah,
really.
she
This week's been rough for me.
vacated the title and said
Okay.
that it deserves to get more attention than being like a secondary title to the NXT Women's Championship. So I believe she vacated it.
So
Maybe she's putting the women's title on.
maybe. Well, and it could be that I just heard the North American Championship, so it may be that they're
Oh
doing
yeah, because
some match for
there's
it.
an open tournament
Yeah,
or something for it.
that's okay. That makes sense, and that's what I heard. And honestly, I just kind of came through it. So
Yeah. Also, the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
yeah,
That's Jesus Christ himself, right? That's Dave
I
Meltzer.
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Well.
So close to Easter too.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah.
WWE officially brings Rusev back to the company. How are we feeling about that?
Uh, I, for one, would be really excited if that was the case, if and only if he's allowed a little bit of latitude. Now, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not EC3, right? I'm not the guy that's like, hey, control your narrative. Everybody needs to be able to do exactly what they want all the time. It just doesn't work. You get a bunch of Hogans, you know. But I do believe that there are certain people out there who had very, very, very bad creative interactions, and Rusev is one of them. So there should be a little bit of give on his character, I would hope. So, and hopefully we get
Well,
Lana back too.
my thing is, don't bring him back to do the Rusev Day gimmick thing.
And
Let him
honestly,
bring him back as the Bulgarian brute that he was when he went
yeah,
against Cena at WrestleMania.
yeah. Honestly, I did hear that to go along with that story, I did hear that somebody reached out to Aiden English too. So that would be kind of a Rusev Day reunion.
There is one thing I can add to this. Dave
Yeah,
Wrestling News Jesus Meltzer has gotten the impression that CJ Perry, aka Lana, will
hmm
not be coming back to the WWE, even though
yeah,
Rusev has returned.
yeah. Well, that sucks because I would love to see a Rusev Lana versus Karrion Cross and Charlotte or Scarlett. I'm sorry, Scarlett type situation. Because I think that Lana and Scarlett are both very underrated in the ring. They're really good. So,
Now, remember, we're just going off of what, Dave Meltzer's impression is.
oh, no. I assume that was creative. I thought Dave Meltzer was in charge of creative of all wrestling promotions.
Pretty much, I think, as long as
Okay,
it's not
yeah.
WWE, I think he's pretty much
Oh, that's right. Oh, we were
God.
talking about WWE. Yeah, we're talking about WWE. My fault. So that's fine. Okay, my bad. Sorry, Dave. No disrespect. Punk ass.
Oh, I'm throwing shade. Russell Votes says there is frustration within WWE regarding SmackDown being a 3-hour show, as there is
Yeah,
apparently creative fatigue. Allegedly, SmackDown is expected to go back to a 2-hour show after WrestleMania 41 sometime in June.
yeah. I mean, with all this stuff, excuse me, guys. With all this stuff, you got to give it some time. You know, there was a lot of things that happened kind of mid WrestleMania season that you may look at. I mean, the Netflix startup. You know, that's all happened on the road to WrestleMania. So give it time, people. They'll get it all ironed out. I don't mind a 3 hour show if you got 3 hours to fill. I do mind a 3 hour show when you don't have 3 hours to fill. I prefer a 2 hour show, but then it always leaves me wanting more. So I always felt like I wanted more out of SmackDown before. I'm a wrestling fan. I can't be pleased.
I think it would
So
be better for us to want more than packing
mm,
40 minutes out of the 3-hour show of last
yeah,
week, and showing all these highlights. Get rid of the
yeah.
fucking highlights. We saw it. We were there.
So the problem is, I agree with you. I like that. I mean, I agree that we should want more rather than wanting or needing more, I guess you could say. But or I should say, instead of wanting less. But the problem is, I don't think they're going to cut that stuff out. They still do that. So now it's just like good product gets pushed out. So the reason I kind of do like a 3 hour show is, even though yeah, it's a lot of filler, that filler is going to be there anyway. The problem is, what I like about a longer show is more people get screen time. So,
And
unfortunately, you know,
now we pretty much have it confirmed that Aleister Black is going to be here. They
yep,
just brought in
yep,
Ray Phoenix. They just brought in
yep,
Rusev. Most likely all going to well, Phoenix
SmackDown.
is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They're only showing
Yeah.
vignettes for Aleister Black on SmackDown. You're bringing
Hmm.
more people to the show, and you're going to
Yeah.
cut an hour. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, no, I agree with you. It's just if you could fill it, fine. If you can't, then I get it. But I think they're doing the right things to fill the slot. I think so. So
Um, this is almost making me nervous. Like we're going to have another string of firings with them signing more people.
that and that's my concern too. And it's going to be people that don't need to be fired. There are people in WWE that I think probably could benefit from some time elsewhere, for sure. And some of those are recent rehires again, but it's just, and I don't blame them per se, as I blame the fact that there's just no creative direction for them, which is a really hard thing to say to somebody. So
Well, and that
when I'm
yeah, and
sure they've got ideas.
that goes with that creative fatigue that they're bringing up. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that. I think making the show shorter isn't going to fix that.
No, no, I think it actually causes a bigger problem, right? Because you still got to pay the bills, so you
Yeah,
still gotta you still got to point to stuff last week. You still got ads. You still got all this. You still got to bring in famous people. You're still going to do all of the theatrics. So cutting the show down, I don't think that gets rid of your creative fatigue. I almost feel like there needs to be a bigger emphasis on, again, maybe like a cruiserweight division. I don't mean like a 205 live, but some, I mean, maybe a bigger emphasis on like Evolve or one of these other promotions where people can get seen. I thought that the speed thing they did on Twitter or X or whatever was been pretty cool, and that's a way for people to get seen. So it's all about your brand, man. It's all about making money, and I'm here to support that. So wrestlers getting paid is what I'm all about.
I agree. Speed. I never watched any of it, and it was
Yeah,
almost ignored. With whoever the Speed champion was, like you never. If
yeah,
what Ricochet, for instance, he was
hmm
the Speed champion, and yet he did not wear the Speed championship belt to the ring on
right,
Raw. So it was
right.
almost like
Which,
a
yeah,
non-canon.
I almost disagree with that. Yeah, because even when they had like 205 Live, if a cruiserweight was on Raw, they brought that cruiserweight title out. So I do kind of I feel you on that. I hope that they can make it into something a little bit more legitimate, or just get rid of the title and make it a tournament all the time. Something like that. So because it is fun and it's quick. It's literally like what 3 minutes, and that's the entire match, and there's just one. So
Jeez.
it's not a huge investment.
Um, Also, since we were talking about tournaments and stuff here, there is
Yeah.
still no word on there being a King and Queen of the Ring PLE
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
year. Apparently, some people
Yeah.
in the back said it doesn't need to be an every year thing. It kind of does.
Yeah.
And some people are saying that it's just not PLE worthy and they would run the tournaments on Raw and SmackDown, which I would be fine with that. That'd be
Yep.
cool.
I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily think it needs to be a PLE situation. I think maybe you should have the tournament commence on a PLE. That's
Like
fine.
the
That gives you
final.
another slot. Yeah, the
Yeah.
final. Yeah, just like UFC. I mean, UFC is a really good indicator of that. They always had the Ultimate Fighter where they kind of compete, and then on the pay-per-view, whatever the next pay-per-view is, that's when they do the final. They fight
That's a good
there. So
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it,
So I'd be
and
fine
there's
with
definitely an
that.
undercard. So
Yeah. Um, so speaking on that, in other news, Triple H told BBC Newsbeat that Netflix has no creative control over the on-screen product with Raw, and only has input on how long the show is and when it airs. So there was some clapback at Triple H saying, I don't know if you remember when the Netflix thing initially started, but
hmm
he was saying WWE chooses if we want it to be a 45-minute show, it'll be a 45-minute show. If we
right,
want it to be 3 hours, it'll be 3 hours. Well, now
right,
he's backtracking, saying they don't actually have that control at all. And hell, if Netflix wanted to, Monday Night Raw could be Wednesday Night Raw. I don't like that
yeah,
either.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that there's probably, I would assume that there's language within within the contract that says that, this is a Monday night show or this is a Friday night show. And if it's not going to be a Monday night show, that they could revisit the terms at that point. Because I cannot imagine WWE giving up control of when Raw is
No,
is is there. That doesn't make any sense to me.
no,
And
I don't like that at
the
all.
time, fine. The time I could see that, but even then, it says input, not necessarily that they control that decision. So, if they're like, hey, we really want it to go out at this time, well, here's our slot. This is where we want to be, and they stick in the mud. WWE can stick in the mud. So that's their slot. That's the way I interpret that. So
Yeah, I'm not necessarily upset with Triple H like so many people are trying to hang him out to dry. I think that maybe he didn't know as much of the details as he thought he did.
well, and even if he did, I think he's just excited, And when you're
Yeah,
excited, you say things. And this was a really exciting time for them. And he kept getting this question of how long is it going to be? How long is it going to be? And he just said, look, if we want it to be 45 minutes, we would be 45 minutes. If we want it to be 3 hours, I look at it as the royal we. I didn't look at that as like WWE or Netflix. I look at it as like who the decision makers that be will make that decision. People got to lighten up. People got, you know what? This is the perfect time, Tyler. Okay, you know what? This is what people need to do. They need to get a shot glass. All right, they need to get some Jägermeister right here. Okay,
oh God,
I hate Jägermeister. So this
I
is
just hate
shout
the
out to
way it makes me
Pastor.
feel the next day.
Oh yeah, well my wife picked this out. So get a shot glass, and if you can support a wildlife preserve while you get that shot glass, get some Jägermeister, take a shot, and chill the fuck out. All right, like calm down, just
Well,
calm down.
it's what I've had to explain to Cassie multiple times. I was like, this is what wrestling fans do. No one
Oh
will
man,
ever 100% agree on
that's
anything
gross.
in
That's
wrestling.
disgusting. Yeah, no, they won't, and that's fine. I don't mind the discourse. It's just this stuff is petty,
Well,
like
that's
who
the thing.
cares?
The
Yeah.
pettiest of petty shit.
Oh, it just doesn't even make sense. So yeah, I'm with you. Chill out, people. Chill
Yeah,
out. If it's 3 hours, it'll be 3 hours. If it's 2 hours, it'll be 2 hours. They'll fill it. They'll put the product out. If you like the product, watch it. If you don't, don't.
right. Um, Karrion Cross WWE contract is coming up this year. Fightful Select says sources believe the deal ends sometime this summer and say Cross has impressed some WWE officials with his ability to gain popularity via social media and with the limited TV time he has gotten. And he has. I
Yeah.
genuinely feel like even those little pop up scenes he's been having in the backstage of Raw, where it's not enough. I want to see him wrestle. I want to watch him
Mm-hmm.
wrestle. But he
Yep.
is staying, firmly in everybody's memory banks. Nobody's forgotten about him. And with them not putting him out there at all and us not forgetting, that
Yeah.
should just tell you right there put him in the ring.
Well, and I think that's what sets him apart from a lot of other people. Is he's a hustler, man. He knows I need to get out there for people to see me, and it doesn't matter how I get out there. I just need to be out there. When I get out there, it's on me to make it the best thing that I can make it. So,
Yeah, and I'm hoping that them not putting him on TV, getting rid of APA and everything else, I
mhm.
hope that's not just them saying, like, yeah, we're not going to put any more time into you. Your contract's done this summer. We'll let you sit it out.
Yeah, AOP because I wish APA was back.
Oh,
It
God,
took me a
AOP.
minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it took me a
AOP.
minute. I didn't want some doofus calling you out on it. I'll do it. Damn it. Uh,
Final Testament, is that better? The axe
there we go.
everybody
Final
from Final
Testament.
Testament besides Karrion Cross and Scarlett.
Final Testament. Yeah, I agree with you. I love the guy. I mean, I liked him even when he left and he did that control your narrative thing. I wasn't throwing shade at control your narrative. I mean, I like what they do. It's just this ain't it. So, but I do think Karen Cross is doing what he needs to do to stay in people's minds, like you said, and I'm with it. So,
Yeah, and somebody that can do a Jesse the Body Ventura impression that good
yeah,
is talented,
yeah,
and you should keep him
yeah.
on the roster.
Well, and just the fact that like, I think I realized this, but I couldn't put words to it. But somebody had commented on Twitter like, "Hey, I noticed that you always make your hair just like the people you're talking to." And he was like, "Yep." And then when you look back, every time he talked to AJ Styles, his hair was long. Every time he talked to like Kofi, he had his hair up in like the bun thing. So he like makes his hair like the people he's trying to. When he not Kofi, but Sammy. He always wore his hair like Sami Zayn when he talked to Sami Zayn. It's just
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It's those little Easter
Holy
eggs,
shit.
those little things. It makes it intriguing to watch him, you know.
Yeah.
So I think he's doing a great job, and I hope he gets more TV time, but I hope it's at the right time. I don't think
Yeah.
it's now. Now is not the time.
And
No.
with right now where we are less
Yeah.
than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, I understand why certain people aren't going to be on TV if they're not
Right.
going to be at the show of shows. It makes sense to me.
Well.
Where the real telltale sign is going to be is after Mania.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking like in a week where we had Cody, Cena, Gunther, Jimmy, AJ, and Logan, Braun Breaker, Io, and Rhea all on one show. And the only thing that people and I can think about is what happened with CM Punk and Paul Heyman. Sorry, Karrion Cross, like this isn't the time, you know. But when he gets his shot, he's gonna be like just like LA Knight. He's not gonna let that go. So, and I hope so. I hope it happens for him.
All right. TNA officials have been impressed by WWE NXT's JC Jane during her
Mm,
Impact appearances, according to Fightful Select. PW Insider reports. Jane's Fatal Influence team is scheduled to work on an upcoming TNA pay-per-view.
yeah.
So just a little bit of the other way, WWE throwing them talent, just like when we took Henry and I'm sorry, let me pronounce that better. Joe Hendry. It almost sounded like I said
Uh,
Henry, but I have a dip in. Back off.
um, Joe Hendry. Which, by the way, we were looking up the other day. We were looking up all the meet and greet prices, stuff like that. Joe Hendry, way underpriced. I'd pay that in a heartbeat. I think it was like I think it was like $80 or maybe even like $50 to like take a picture with the guy. And I'm like, oh, I'd pay that in a heartbeat. No problem.
Oh, hell yeah.
Um,
Dude, my kids
so,
love the
so
guy. I love him.
oh,
I really
he's
wish he was part of WWE's main roster and not TNA. That's just me
I don't
being
know.
selfish.
I don't know though. I almost like it this way because he's protected, in my opinion. I want you protected. I want you to just come over for the special stuff, be you, have fun. I don't want you tainted by the WWE creative. I think he's doing just fine where he's at. Um, but yeah, no, JC Jane though, congratulations to that because I think she is somebody who's been on team after team after team. You know, she was in Fatal. I don't know what is it now? Fatal Attraction now, or is it Fatal Influence?
It's
Fatal
Fatal
Influence.
Influence. Fatal
Yeah, but it
Attraction
used
was
to
when she was with
was Mandy Rose and
no,
Gigi Dolan.
yeah, Gigi Dolan.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and Mandy Rose was a part of that too.
She was in that
That
too,
whole
huh?
Yep, that whole group. And she's kind of been like the second or third fiddle to everybody in all of her groups. But I think she's pretty legit. So I'm glad somebody's recognizing her.
Yeah.
So
And Mandy Rose is doing pretty good for herself
I had no
out of
doubt she
wrestling.
would. Yeah, I had no doubt she'd fall on her
Yeah.
feet. I had no doubt. So
Triple H said in the next year there will be another PLE in the UK, and also said a PLE in India is also a big possibility.
yeah, okay, that's fine. Whatever. I can't make it to all of them.
Well, the
You
only
know.
part that bothers me is, like, let's say it is in India. What time is that pay-per-view going to be on here?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If as long as it's not, and again, they're just saying PLEs. So I mean, we could have a elimination chamber be at a weird time, and I'd be okay with that. Or we could have a Hell in a Cell PLE or a TLC, you know, or even a Backlash. I don't really care about those. The big four, yeah, no, those got to be
Those
home
got to
style,
stay
you know.
here. Those
Yeah,
got to
those
stay
only
here.
because I don't want the time messed up. Like those are events. Those are huge. So those are the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl plays when the Super Bowl plays. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You're going to get up and watch the Super Bowl. That's what those four are to me. So
All right, sticking with the PLE talk, a WWE PLE in Mexico has been discussed heavily, but is not official. It's not official if it's going to happen or not. I think it'd be great to
yeah,
have a PLE in Mexico.
I think Has it ever happened? I don't know. I don't.
As
If it
far as I
hasn't
know,
happened,
no. Uh-uh.
if it hasn't happened, that's disgraceful because Mexico's got a huge wrestling fan base, and
Oh, hell yeah.
the what WWE is doing with luchadors coming in, and I do think they're putting on a more diverse product in that sense. There's other ways we can talk about where they haven't, but in that sense, I think they're putting on a more diverse product. Yeah, now's the time to do it. And you got Ray Phoenix, you got Dragon Lee, you got Penta, you got still healthy Rey Mysterio for whatever reason people want to see him.
Dom.
Dom, yeah, you got Dom. So I mean, you got plenty of Mexican or Mexican American wrestlers that would sell out stadiums there. So
I agree. And then
yeah,
lastly, on the PLE talk, WWE's lone PLE in Saudi Arabia this year will be Night of Champions on Saturday, June 28th. So we're
okay,
not
that's
going to
fine.
Saudi Arabia multiple times this year, thank God.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The fact that it's Night of Champions is a little annoying because there's stupid rules and there's stupid, you know, uniform policies. Like Night of Champions should be a celebration of everything, the pageantry, the whole thing of being a champion. So it is a little annoying that the women champions who would possibly be on that card have to be muted. So that sucks. But again, I'm just being a wrestling fan. I'd find something to complain
No,
about if they put it in the short.
I fully
So
agree. I think it's a business decision and a cash grab by the
for sure,
WWE.
yeah.
And I don't necessarily think it's who's in charge now that, you know, was
Now
idea
that
whose idea it was. But
yeah.
I believe
Well,
they did like a 5 or 10 year contract agreement with Saudi, didn't they?
I'll say that deal was made a long time ago, but if you look at UFC and TKO and their product, they're doing the same thing. They're over there. I mean, during the pandemic, Dana White had a whole island
It's true.
in the Emirates. I assume it was Saudi Arabia, but somewhere over there. But so I don't think it would matter who's in charge. I think that it's just the way that the world is going. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not here to have a political conversation about it, but it's there's quite a bit of stuff happening in terms of Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. So
All right. SE Scoops is claiming that AEW is averaging around 500,000 viewers on the Max streaming service for Dynamite.
yeah,
I don't know who the hell SE Scoops is, but
yeah, me either.
I just
I
wanted to
do
make sure
know.
everybody knew it wasn't my information.
I do. I do know that I forgot they were streaming on Max, and that does change things a little bit. I have Max, so
Yep.
I can go back and watch those whenever I want.
I
So
will
I may,
say
yeah.
that Wrestling News Jesus Christ uh, and Judas himself,
Mm-hmm.
Dave
Yeah,
Meltzer, said
yeah.
that these claims are false and that Max never releases their viewership.
Which is accurate, right? Max is just like Sirius XM. They don't release they don't even track. I mean I'm sure they track, but they don't track in the terms to release any type of viewership or listenership. So
So this could be false,
unfortunately, he's
might
right.
not be.
Right? Yeah. I mean I could say a number and it could be right.
Yeah, 7.
So hey, I'll tell you right now. I think that not I think on AEW averages 46 viewers on Max per week. So,
It's a good guess.
well, hey, we'll know my number as much as we'll know CC Scoops
Exactly.
or whoever they were. So we can verify both those numbers the same place.
All right,
Nowhere.
let's get on some Bloodline news. Tonga Loa is expected to return to WWE TV in June. If you don't know, he did suffer a torn bicep back in November at Survivor Series War Games.
Cody fought through it.
It's weird that, I mean, I would say the Bloodline is doing okay. They're not doing great. This is not post WrestleMania 40 Bloodline or anything like that, but they're keeping their head above water right now. And I think with Tonga Loa coming back, it's going to get better. Then we're going to have more of that tag team scene again with Tongans. And
Well,
we already see Jacob Fatu is freaking taken over. Solo's kind of the one floundering a little bit right now.
yeah, except for I would agree with you 100%, except for the moment with Solo and Jacob, where he was kind of like, "Yo, check your tone," and Jacob checked his tone. And then this week when he came back or when he came out, he was wearing the Bloodline velvet red suit coat again. So we may be running into a different situation. Either way, I'd be happy to have him back.
Yeah, I
So
agree. There was also news, I believe I said it last week, about Bronson Reed
yes, yeah,
with his broken ankle or whatever it was. I think it was a broken
yeah,
ankle.
yeah. I think,
Disgusting.
yeah, yeah. I think it was nasty.
Yeah, I swear. Go back to the last episode and listen to it. I'm pretty sure I gave
Yeah.
a vague return date for him.
It was somewhere in the beginning, middle, or end, right in there. Just go ahead and listen to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely somewhere in there. Um, let's see. The Messiah of Wrestling News reports Mystico, aka Sin Cara, is injured but will appear at MLW's Battle Riot. Either way, if he can't wrestle, there is a plan B in mind already. I just threw this on here because Sin
hmm
Cara is still getting hurt constantly.
I mean, leave the man alone. All right, let him live. Our first TikTok was a Sin Cara TikTok. I'm pretty sure.
It was.
Let the man live. Let the man live.
Okay.
Uh, what else you got? Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Nia Jax is still on WWE's internal inactive list, which is why she still hasn't been seen on TV. It was anticipated that she would be back a few weeks ago, but has yet to do so. No one knows why she is on the inactive list, but Nia took to social media saying false and said that the assumptions are all clickbait. She had also said, LOL, where is this info even coming from? And she had said, I love that medical information is being shared with randoms. No.
Well,
She's denying she's hurt. She's on the inactive list.
I mean, my thing is, if you're really concerned about medical information being shared, that means that something's probably true. But I agree with her, man. It's kind of ridiculous, man. Let people just be. Let them be. If she's hurt, she's hurt. If she's not, she's not. Wrestling's a weird world. Wrestling's a world where like you can be hurt for real and not per storyline, or you could be hurt per storyline and not for real. And it's just it's a tough thing to probably navigate for somebody like Nia Jax or anybody for that matter. So let her be. Leave her alone.
Yeah,
When she's back, she'll be back.
I agree.
She'll be hurting
Um,
women in no time. So
WrestleVotes claims that Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton said very little of what was in the rundown for them to do during their promo battle on SmackDown,
yeah,
and that the segment was off script quite a bit. However,
yeah.
WRKD Wrestling notes that Charlotte's divorce would not have been mentioned without clearance ahead of time. But no one said anything about Kaiser being in Charlotte's DMs being cleared by anyone.
Yeah,
I don't believe that was cleared by anything. How quickly she rolled her ass out of that ring, and that was real rage that I saw from Charlotte bringing up Kaiser being in the DMs. And
yeah. Listen, this is nasty. This is real nasty, and maybe they got to do it to sell tickets. I don't know. But I do know that those feelings and those looks looked real. And I still, to this day, to this moment, don't give a shit about Charlotte. So, I'm not invested in it. The boos were a little ridiculous. I'm okay with making your feelings known, but let them get through their shit. The boos are a little ridiculous, but I think those boos caused a really cool moment in this rivalry, though,
oh
because
yeah,
Charlotte because she couldn't talk, she had to go off script. She had to say something crazy. I'm a little annoyed with her. I think she's childish and she just does the nana boo boo stuff, and it's annoying. But we'll see. I hope that Tiffany still wins. So
yeah, I'm rooting for Tiffany too. Me and Cass had also noticed Charlotte looked, even though she was telling everybody that the booze don't bother her and everything else, she looked shook.
No, I get. I mean, you got to say they don't bother you, right? Because your dad's who your dad is, your family's who your family is. You have to say that. You have to be who you are. No, that bothered her, and it sucks a little bit because whereas I don't like Charlotte personally, I don't like her style of wrestling. I don't like her character for the most part. That's just a personal thing. I know what she is to wrestling, and I know what she's done for wrestling, and you can't disrespect that. So.
No.
Um, when they do it to Dom, okay, that's fun, right? Because Dom is still a newcomer for the most part. He's still up
And
and
he's
coming,
playing into it.
um,
It's his
and
gimmick
he's playing
now.
into it. Yeah, when they do it to Logan Paul, it sucks. But I mean, it makes
No,
sense.
it's
But
when they do it to Logan Paul, it's a good day for Tyler.
it's they hate the guy. But when they do it to Charlotte, it just doesn't seem deserving in that sense. Not that level of booing.
No,
I
not
don't
that
like her
level.
either. Yeah, I don't like her either. But I like that she keeps giving me reasons not to like her. So
Right.
continue to talk.
I just
You
wanted
know.
to hear what was actually going to be said.
Yeah, although those boos caused an incredible moment in this rivalry and could really change the trajectory of this match and what this match means and how it plays out. So
I agree. All right, last bit of news before we move on to Monday Night Raw. PW Insider says Kari Sane is very close to being medically cleared to return, and that JD McDonough is expected to be cleared by the end of April. So we'll be having 2 more returns coming very shortly.
yeah, I care about it much about both of them. You know, like they'll be good. They're part of the groups. They're part of they're people to throw out there, but they haven't had big parts yet. So
Yeah, I think that's another reason why Asuka isn't back yet, because I believe she is cleared, but they're probably
I
waiting so that the Kabuki Warriors can come back at the same time.
yeah, which would be dope. Which would be real dope. And I hope that they have that title battle royal. I think after SmackDown they showed it or something. Um, and I'm hoping that maybe at the end of that or something like that, the Kabuki Warriors pop up because women's tag teams are hot right now too. Um, and there's some good ones out there. There's some throw together ones that are a little wild, but there's some good ones. So
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones.
yeah. Well, you want to move on to Raw?
Yeah, hit us with Raw.
So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I definitely I drew the much less interesting show, much less. Not because of nothing Raw did. Raw was a great show in my opinion, top to bottom. It was really good, really entertaining. But nothing is going to compare to what we're going to have talked about in a little bit. So I'm going to get through this pretty quickly so we can move on to that. But Raw started out with Cody. Cody just giving the business to Cena. And again, it drives me crazy that I forgot that happened when I was going through my notes because of what happened on Friday. So
First contact.
uh,
First contact between the two.
the first contact, and it's crazy, and and to me, it just seems like. Not to mention, we did our last episode after that had already happened, so that kind of makes it feel like it's that far ago. But
Yeah.
anyway, first match of the night: New Day versus New Catch Republic. We asked for it, we got it. New Catch Republic came back. At least that's what I think, if I remember correctly. That we
Yep,
both
they're New
were
Catch
kind of hoping
Republic.
for.
And I don't
Um,
know if you noticed, but during that match, Tyler Bate went to give Pete Dunne a high five, and Pete Dunne just totally snubbed him. So it's almost
yeah,
like they brought them back to be together just to break them up.
Yeah, that I'm interested. I'm interested to see what happens with that. Maybe it was on purpose, maybe it wasn't, but I'm interested to see. Um, I
Tyler
do
Bate
know
looked
that
great, though, and new haircut.
yeah, the new haircut. I find that to be kind of off-putting a little bit. It's just a little Chad Gable-y to me, but I mean, um, but hey, it was good. It was a good match. I am a
It
little annoyed
was.
that the New Day won, so because the New Day sucks. So after that, we had Gunther versus Jimmy, and this was wild, wild, wild. All I put is wild, 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 wild. Again, even wilder that this left my mind when preparing for this week because that match was insane, and the end of that match was beyond crazy.
Yeah, it was.
I'm invested in this. I'm ready for this at WrestleMania.
I am a little upset that they made Jimmy look that weak.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean? And Jimmy can bounce back. Jimmy will be fine. I think they'll put them in a tag team again for a little while, maybe. Well, we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. But if Jay doesn't come away with the title, they'll throw them back together again, and they'll both be okay. But that was that. I mean, they did it with Jay. You know, they did it with Jay when Roman, right? Was that Jay that was beat up, or was Jimmy beat up then too?
No,
I can't
Jay
remember
left
which one.
first.
Yeah. So when he had Jay wrapped up and Jimmy was trying to reach for him way back then, right? And
I
now it was
think so.
reversed this time. Yeah, I think I we could be wrong. Somebody
You
will
got a
tell us
better
different,
memory than I
but
do.
no, barely.
I
Somebody
have
will
too
tell
much
us.
bong resin up here.
Uh, pause. Okay, yep. Too much bong resin. But perfect on the Usos conversation.
It
But yeah,
is.
no, they I don't know. Either way, I'm excited for this. I think that bringing Jimmy into it was the best thing they could have done. He wasn't really doing anything that huge anyway, so letting
No.
him do this is awesome. So,
Yeah, I love the segment, total bloodbath, and
mhm.
now I feel like there's that spark that Big Jim was trying to get out of Jay. There it is.
Yep,
We're gonna
there it
get
is.
we're gonna get Jay at his absolute best
Mm-hmm.
against Gunther, and if Jay doesn't win at Mania, my wife is gonna break things in my house. So
I it's gonna be a rough night if that doesn't happen.
yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see. Next match we had was Finn and Dom versus Braun and Penta. Um, Finn and Dom coming out on top on that one. I do like this Braun and Penta stuff though. Even though I don't want to see either one of them lose, so it's a little annoying that they're pitting them against each other in this sense. But um, it's interesting.
yeah. I'm
And
definitely a
adding in,
Penta fan.
oh yeah, he's
I
super sweet.
thought for a segment, I thought I'd do like a figure of the week.
Oh okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
go with Penta of the AEW Unrivaled Supreme Collection
Mm,
that I got on clearance because I'm a broke bitch.
gotta get it where you get it. Gotta get it where you get it. Um, But yeah, I mean it's and I do like that they had this opportunity to bring in the Braun Penta situation, the New Day or not the New Day, the Judgment Day and Penta situation. All of that kind of coming to a head here, but eh, you know whatever. It's a throwaway match in my opinion in that
Yeah,
sense.
pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah. After that, we had AJ challenging Logan, the GOAT, Paul, to a match. I don't know why you would do it. I don't know why you step down to get put down, but that's what happens. So,
Oh, who won that match?
which one?
AJ and Logan.
I don't recall.
Oh, you don't.
I don't recall. It seemed
Okay.
like there was some funny business happening in that match.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
we won't talk about it right now. This isn't the platform for that, right? We'll get to it. We'll get to that. But I'll tell you who's going to win this time. Undoubtedly in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds
AJ
in.
Styles.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
AJ Styles. Although they might let Logan win just to piss you off. I know Trips is
Oh,
listening. Trips, make it happen, my man.
he might. He might, and I will be pissed.
the last the last match of the night was Io versus Rhea. I don't know why I got excited about it. I knew what was going to happen.
This
It
is
was a double
Bianca as
DQ.
special guest referee, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
This was the
Yep.
Bianca special guest referee. We all knew what was going to happen. We knew how this was going to work out. It was a double DQ. It was going to break down, but it still was fun. I mean, it was a fun main event for that night.
Yeah, I thought it was good for what it was. Yeah, the ref bumps were, and if you ask me, not enough to call a double DQ or
Right.
whatever, however it ended. But we've been saying this for
Yeah.
weeks now. It's gonna be a triple threat at Mania.
It's going to be a triple threat. Yeah. They're just prolonging it because we have been saying it for weeks now. So, all right, my man, you wanna plow through the trash of SmackDown to get to the gold?
All right, SmackDown Punk promo is what the show opens with, and Punk grabbed the camera, right? He did the Punk cam. Well, the internet blew up because they're saying Punk did it for one reason. To spin 360 and catch the hard cam side of the crowd being packed full as a middle finger to AEW, who notoriously cannot fill an arena, especially on the hard cam. If there is people on the hard cam that are not by the barricade, they ask them to move to the other side of the arena to fill it up for the camera.
Wow.
Punk giving the old...
that makes sense, the old FU. I mean, you got stuff to worry about. You got other stuff to worry about, Punk. Just move on.
I'm not biased.
Move on, Punk. You're fine.
All right. Heyman comes down to ask for another favor, and Punk's like, well, "We're just stacking favors now. Okay, what's your favor?" And Heyman goes, "My favor is for you to tell me what your favor is." And Punk asked if Roman was in the building, and Paul said no, he's on his way. So Punk hit him with the, "Well, I'll tell you what the favor is when Roman's here. I want him to hear this in person."
Yep. And we'll get there.
Oh, they made us wait the whole damn show.
The whole show. I fell asleep 3 times waiting for that.
All right. Ray Phoenix debuts against your boy, Nathan Frazier.
Not my guy. Not a fan.
You love him. I will say that this match wasn't just fast. It was almost too fast. Yeah. Not length of the match. I'm talking about the speed of the action. And I think the speed of the action is what caused the one botch in this match was when Frazier tried to jump through the middle rope. He caught and it was like his quad or something. And Ray Phoenix, being the pro that he is, caught him. Barely, almost missed him.
That was scary. Like
it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that threw them off for a little while. They were kind of disjointed for a little bit after that.
Just a little, though.
Overall.
It definitely took nothing from the match for me. And this match did end with Phoenix's first appearance getting a win with the Mexican Muscle Buster, I thought that was a great name for a move, too.
Yep.
And then at the end, Phoenix did cut a pretty emotional promo, just like his brother Penta did. And at the very end, Phoenix yells, "I am WWE Animal." Yeah. That's not me making fun of the accent. That's what he said.
Yeah. No, that is definitely what he said. I don't know. It was a good match. I just when your brother's Penta, it's hard to live up to that debut. Penta was, and he had one botch in his. Granted, this one wasn't Ray Phoenix's botch.
Penta's was so little compared to that.
Yeah, but it was a good match. I'm excited. I'm excited to see them apart. I'm excited to see them when they finally get together. So
I agree. Sip of beer.
Yep. Oh, yep. Mexican.
All right.
This is also known as the Mexican Muscle Buster. So.
Yeah, that is. Hey, mine's Mexican too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yours is Mexican, like
it's a tomato beer. Tomato beer with oyster juice.
Well.
My ass reeks.
None of that.
I've had to throw underwear away because of those.
Jesus.
I've had my wife refuse to wash them.
Understandably so.
Shout out to Soul. Anyway. Our next match, they don't want me promoting that at all.
No. Neither does Wildlife Prairie Park. I think they're going to ask me to stop soon. So,
the next match was LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. Pretty even match. And Tama Tonga did have kind of the upper hand at the middle, but it ended up evening out pretty good. LA Knight gets Solo out of the way of a distraction that he tried causing and hits Tama Tonga with the BFT. LA Knight wins. I think everybody and their brother knew that LA Knight was going to win this match before they even got to the ring.
Yeah, I don't think that was the surprise. I do think the surprise may have been more of the fact that Tama Tonga really held his own, and
I thought he did good.
On a really good match. So
Can we talk about
Yeah.
the smack talk that LA Knight did to Tama Tonga in the back before they had their match?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah,
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 yeah. Yo, LA Knight is so good. He's
yeah.
so good. If we don't get at some point during this last year of all this an LA Knight versus John Cena, I'm just on the mic. I don't care if they match up in the ring. I don't care about any of that. I just need to see them on the mic against each other one good time or with each other. Working together either way. I think those two have to be on the same stage.
It would be awesome. I'm not going to do it justice by saying it, but didn't LA Knight say he's going to hit Tama Tonga so hard that's exactly what he's going to be doing? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, my daughter does it better than any of us because she walks around all day going, yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, that's essentially what he said. LA Knight flirts with cancellation every single week, man. He's like, I'm gonna get you right up there to the point of you you probably shouldn't say that. And then he
Yep,
stops right before that. So
love it.
yep,
The next part was the Stratton and Flair promo, but we covered that back in the news.
yep,
Not going to touch
yep.
it here. Uh, then after that, there was an announcement that there will be a tag team gauntlet match to see who will
Hmm.
face Liv and Raquel for the women's tag team championship titles at WrestleMania 41. And you had brought that up a bit ago as well.
Yeah, I'm glad they're putting those on the show though. Sometimes they leave them off. So
Yeah, I agree. Um, Next match, Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY for the number one contenders match. Very action packed as these guys always are. And we've
yeah.
seen them wrestle like this has got to be the fourth time now.
Yeah, if we were keeping stats, I mean, it's been multiple times this year already. So,
Yeah. And just the way that the match ends with a bear turnbuckle head smash on Champa,
hmm
and what kind
yeah,
of roll up? Oh, damn it! I fucked up my own saying. What kind of win did we get? A roll up
roll up. Yep,
for
yep.
Saban. So Motor City Machine Guns are now the number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
That'll be fun. It'll be WrestleMania
Um,
probably for them too.
it was just nice to see that they've gone against each other this many times now, and they could still have a
Yeah.
fresh ending.
Well, and the cool thing too is you really never know who's going to win that match. Like
No,
it's you never know. So, and I think that's what makes a really great rivalry, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it years from now. So,
all right, B-Fab versus Naomi. There's a
yeah,
burp. Naomi attacked by Jade Cargill during her entrance. Um, they get Cargill off of her, and Naomi still makes it to the ring, and the whole match was B-Fab. The whole
yep,
thing.
yep,
And somehow Naomi hit a modified lung blower and gets the pin. And immediately after that, Jade Cargill comes in from the crowd and lays more of a beating on Naomi and gets split
yeah.
up just before Jade hits her finisher. So that's beyond heated. And they officially said these two are going at each other at Mania.
Yeah, and I'm always really interested in the non-title Mania matches, because they're always the ones with like just the most heat. The title matches are gonna be title matches. There's something to fight for. These non-title ones are always fun ones. And we got one taken away from us this week, but this one given to us, I think can replace the level of heat, the level of savagery to a little bit. I mean, us losing KO and Randy, nothing will replace that. But yeah,
And that's actually the next thing.
yep,
KO came out and basically half kind of gave a retirement speech, said he doesn't know if he's going to be able to come back
yeah,
and wrestle again. He needs neck surgery.
no,
Didn't specify what kind of neck surgery either, I noticed. And Cassie
yeah.
was sitting next to me the whole time going, this is a work, this is a work. And I was like, I don't think this is a
So is
work.
so was Marissa, and I felt the same way. I was like, it just feels. I mean, the stuff that KO has been pulling, like this feels right up that alley. He was wearing uh, the Bret Hart overcoat, like. I mean, it all felt like a work. It felt that way. And now I keep hearing everything I've heard so far, everything that's come out has said that this is real. He's for sure going to be out like a minimum of 2 years kind of thing. But even that, I mean, it's KO. KO is so good at keeping these things, close. Maybe they give Randy somebody else. They give Randy a throwaway match. Well, here's what we'll know. We'll know by what they do with Randy. If they give Randy a real legitimate style match, KO's out. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
If they give Randy some BS throwaway match, KO's coming back at WrestleMania. They're gonna have that match.
And
So,
Orton did come out almost as in
yep,
much disbelief as the rest of us, and KO just jumped off the apron and walked away. But I mean, that was another thing to me. KO jumped off the apron. That's going to
yeah.
jar and jostle your neck.
Yeah, and it could be one of those things where, like, you just can't take a bump anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of like I just read a story the other day about one of those scenarios where whoever it was just can't take a bump anymore. They can still be there, they can still wrestle around, they can still move around, they just can't take that bump. I don't know. I don't know. I really, for a very selfish reason, hope that that's not the case, and also for a very selfless reason, because KO seems like a real good dude. Even if he wasn't, I wouldn't want to see anybody lose their career. So
No, and he's just he's an entertainer. He's a wrestler.
yeah,
He's not actually a bad
yeah,
guy.
no, no.
And the
So
segment there ended with Aldis telling Randy that I'm sorry, but you no longer have a WrestleMania match, where Orton
yep,
hits Aldis with an RKO.
yeah. So
So we will see. We will
I
see
guess
what
I guess
happens.
here's the question, right? Do they do an Aldis versus Orton WrestleMania match? In that
That's what I
case, KO
thought.
comes back.
Aldis
KO
is in
comes
good
back.
shape still.
Yeah, of course he is, but he's not wrestling,
True.
So in that case, KO comes back, right? Do they give him somebody legitimate though? Do they give him a returning Malachi Black? Do they give him something like that? If they do that, KO's hurt. KO's not coming back. So
I
that's my
agree.
opinion. You know,
Um, Next is the main event, the last man standing match between Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu.
that wasn't the main event. We
I
both know it.
rated this match a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it was a great match, but that wasn't the main event. We both know it.
Oh, it's
So
not the real main event.
no, that's not the main event. That was a great match though. And for me, who is an absolute stan of Braun Strowman, I'm a huge fan, and who is becoming the biggest fan of Jacob Fatu, this was dope. It was real good.
It was great. And here's what I wrote about it.
Yeah.
We got a superplex by Braun to Fatu off the electrical box, again through 3 tables, both men getting up at 9. What finally ended it was a running Samoan hip attack to Braun's head through a corner table spot. Fatu got up at 9, and Strowman got up at 11. Like, he just missed that 10 count. So it kept
Yep.
Strowman strong,
Yep.
but
Yep.
made Fatu look great. But both
Yep.
men sold the hell out of this match for each other.
These are two workers, and I think this is what Braun Strowman needed. Everybody know Jacob could do it. Everybody's seen what Jacob can do. So they needed to see that Braun is more than just the monster among men. He's more than just Captain Save-A-Ho. Braun is legit at this. This dude can do this thing. So hopefully this leads to more and more and more for him. I know he won his championship during COVID, and I'm not looking for a championship for Braun, but I am looking for some respect to be put on that man's name.
Yeah,
That dude can do
exactly.
this
Because
thing.
I do feel like
So
they need to present him as the monster he is. They can't do
yeah,
this mid card shit with him anymore.
yeah, he has to be. They if they want to do that, they can bring Omos back. Uh,
Yep.
this dude is this dude is a legit monster. He is every bit of Kane. He's every bit of Undertaker. He's every bit of any of those big guys you can think of. Diesel. He's every bit of any of those guys. He just needs the opportunity to show it and let his character reflect it. I think that's important too. So
The only reason I gave it a 9 out of 10 was there was way too many 9 counts. Like laying down both
mhm.
until 9 and then springing up. Too many of
Yeah,
those. If there was just a
yeah,
couple less, I would have given it a 10.
they're indie darlings. They're gonna do it.
All
Yep.
right. Now the real main event. The favor.
Yes.
So first Roman comes out and he doesn't even do his one finger up in the air, nothing. He just beelines it straight into the ring. Talks a little bit, trying to get Punk out there. Then Rollins comes out instead, which we all knew was going to happen after that earlier
Right.
backstage segment when Paul thought that Roman was pulling up, and here it was Seth instead.
Mm-hmm.
And
And did you
Seth
see
basically
Rollins?
just said, I want to watch this all blow up in your face.
Yeah.
You
Did you see?
underestimate Punk, and you've done it
Yeah.
for too long, and now it's going to blow up in your face. Then we get Punk to come out.
No, really quick.
I'll
Two
let
things.
you take some of the fire here. You tell him.
Well, no, that's okay. I'm gonna let you have this. I just really quick. Two things. One, I'm loving this character for Seth. I love this whole like I just want to watch your shit blow up. This is hilarious. Two, did you hear that he? Did you see that he was wearing the same shoes that Bray Wyatt wore in their last interaction?
No.
The lashes. Yeah, his boots that he was wearing in the ring were the same boots that Bray. I don't know if they're the same ones. The same style of boots that Bray Wyatt wore. Check it out. It's all over somewhere.
Yeah, I'll have
Oh,
to
but
look
no,
at that.
I am not taking anything CM Punk said away from you. You have the floor, sir. That was all. I just wanted to touch on Seth Rollins.
Well, Punk had said, all right, my favor is he is your wise man, but he used to be my wise man, and I want him to be my wise man again. I want Paul Heyman to be in my corner at WrestleMania. And Roman laughed, thinking like,
Yeah, yeah.
tell him,
Like
Paul.
that's stupid.
Tell him, Paul.
Why would you want that? Yeah, that's a dumb favor.
And, and then Roman starts getting pissed. He looks at Heyman and goes, tell him no. And that's when Paul Heyman wipes away his tears and says, I can't tell him no. And I popped so hard. And then Roman pushes Heyman into the corner, grabbing him by the collar, and Punk runs up behind and hits him in the almost the neck area with the microphone. And then we see, I don't know, probably the most beautiful thing I've seen since my daughter was born. Roman Reigns get hit with the GTS, all while Seth Rollins stands there and laughs, and Punk immediately turns at Seth like, you're next, come on, and Seth just leaves. So we are getting Punk and Heyman back together again. It's a great day.
Now I saw a video and I saved it, so I will put it in to this spot when I'm done saying this. But I saw a video of Paul and Punk talking way back in the day, back when I wasn't really watching, and he said, like I will walk with you one day down that aisle during your championship run. I'll walk with you one day during WrestleMania main event that you deserve. I will walk with you one day. I will never ever represent somebody against you. Um, and so this is something. I'm excited about
Oh
this.
my God.
I don't have many words for it because it's too, this is another wrinkle. I know that you've talked about it. I know that other people have talked about it, but I didn't actually expect it to happen. So I'm excited.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now the only thing is, what if that off chance that Paul turns on Punk and lets Roman win this match?
What if there's an off chance that Paul turns on Punk and Roman
Join
and
Seth.
Seth becomes a Paul Heyman guy?
I know that if Punk loses by getting fucked over, I am going to take a razor blade and I am going to cut my 120-inch projection screen in half.
I mean, you may not even have one because this match is going on well after the Jey Uso Gunther match. So, sorry, Cass. You're going to be upset.
All right. Let's hit them with the top 10. We got 5 that we loved, 5 that we hated. Women's WrestleMania matches.
Yep. Now, this isn't obviously not main events because there's only been a couple of those. Not anything like that.
Yep.
Just the matches. And again, top 5. And that can be because you loved them or because they had a huge impact on women's wrestling. And least 5 for the same reason. Either you didn't like them or because they had such a drawback to women's wrestling, like a few of these did in mine. Either way, do you want to start with the top or the least?
Let's start with the loved. We'll start with the
All
loved.
right. Do you want to?
We kind of always do what we like and end with what we hated. We'll just stick with that.
That's fine.
All right.
Go ahead.
Number 5 for me, WrestleMania 36, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good match. That honestly should be my honorable mention. So
It was, and
yeah.
that was really one of the first, not the first, but one of the first times we really saw Rhea Ripley show out. Even though Charlotte came away with the win, she
Right.
still made Rhea look strong.
Yeah. And I don't have any Rhea matches on my WrestleMania list. Not because of her fault for the most part, but my number five is Fabulous Moolah versus Velvet McIntyre. That was at WrestleMania 2. And the reason
Jesus,
that I did that one, yeah, I went way back for this one, but I also thought that this was the single biggest jump in women's wrestling at that point. Now, obviously, Vince McMahon did everything he could to dismantle women's wrestling during the Attitude Era, but up until then, Fabulous Moolah, Velvet McIntyre, this was a great match, and it did a lot for women's wrestling at that time. So. That's the
um,
only old one I have. That's the only old school one I have, I promise.
all right, mine are all in the 30s.
Yeah, I have
All
a
of mine
couple
are in
that
the
are like
30s.
I have a couple like 20s, 21s, but not that. Not WrestleMania 2. We're not going that far back.
My number 4,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 34, Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. It's the first time that
Yeah.
we saw Ronda do what she does, and what better? And I know that there's men in this match, but the real eyes were
Right.
on Ronda Rousey in this
Ab-
match.
Absolutely. And she showed out, and Stephanie did what Stephanie does, and I always love Stephanie in the ring because she's such a great character. But Ronda showed out in this match, and she sold me. She sold me a bill of goods in this match, and I was ready to, lay down my life for Ronda Rousey as a WWE superstar at that point. But
And another jump for women's wrestling because Triple H
yes,
sold for Ronda and put her
yes,
over massively in that match.
yes, and it was great. I loved it. Um, my number four was Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus the Riot Squad. And the reason for this was because I just feel like Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose were two of the most underrated wrestlers, especially at that time. And this was a really fun match because Ruby Riot on the other side with the Riot Squad and Paige on the other side with the Riot Squad, they were obviously great wrestlers and continue to be incredible wrestlers. But Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose were really underappreciated at that time, and I've always loved them, and I still think they got the short end of the stick. So
It's a good pick.
that was WrestleMania 37, by the way.
37. All right.
Yeah.
My number 3, and I'm sure this is on a lot of people's number 1 most hated and number 1 most loved, all because of the ending of this match. But my
Yep.
number 3 is WrestleMania 35, Rousey versus Flair versus Lynch.
That is my number one. So
That is your number 1. See?
That
See?
is my number one. Yep. And that's just because to me that was a legitimizing of Becky. But why do you have it on there?
Uh, it's the man.
Mm-hmm.
The best version of
Yep.
Becky Lynch there ever was.
Yeah, I love Big Time Bex, but the man was the best.
And Rousey was not on purpose either, but started being hated by the fans at this point, and
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte politicked her ass into this match.
Yep, and Charlotte was the old guard, and this was just the real come out moment for Becky. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. My number 3 was Alexa versus Nia Jax, and the reason for that is because I love the storyline building up to it. That Alexa versus Nia storyline was great back then. And it was back and forth on that, and Mean Girl versus Bully, and I loved it. So that was WrestleMania 34.
34. All right.
Yeah.
I was making sure that wasn't on my list anywhere. My number 2, WrestleMania 38, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair.
Me too.
That's yours too?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and probably for a lot of the same reasons, right? So
Great match. Bianca got her win back
Yep.
on Becky.
Yep.
They're both excellent workers. So it was
Yeah.
just a really entertaining match, and it was cool because at this time I was not a Becky fan anymore. So to see Beck
Right.
lose and Bianca get her win back from Becky, it was great.
This was Big Time Bex, right? So
Yeah, it was big time
Yeah.
Bex. Yeah.
yeah. All right, who's your number 1?
WrestleMania 39, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
And, well, I mean, Ripley got her win back on Charlotte for the Manias.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it was just who was considered the best women's wrestler in any promotion in the entire world, Charlotte Flair, going against the new best women's
Yeah.
wrestler. And in my opinion, she is the best women's wrestler in the world.
People are arguing with that. And because I mean, it really does depend on what you look for in your best wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And so I will say that that match, while it was a great match, I really struggle with Charlotte. I really do. I don't like her. I don't like I don't like her at all. I think it's because she reminds me of my aunt. And I just oh I can't stand that woman either. So yeah. So hopefully she watches this. So all right, I'll start. I'll start off the least five. Oh, speaking of, no, this is bad time because this is. I don't mean this in a bad way, but we do have a new listener, and I keep forgetting. I've been meaning to mention it for the last 2 weeks, but my son, my boy Ezra, his biological dad, Brandon, new subscriber, new listener. So we appreciate you, Brandon. So
There you go.
he li- yeah, he listens to us while he works that miserable warehouse job like you work. So I feel bad for
Yeah,
him,
not a
man.
fan of it. I actually hate it to death.
Yeah, yeah. This place that I mean, I've heard all the stories about this place, but I used to work for a furniture store, and we would send people over there, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad because people are nuts and people are crazy, and it's a warehouse, like a appliance warehouse store. So anyway, thanks for listening, Brandon. We
Yeah,
appreciate
we're
you.
with you, Brandon.
So
I hate my job too,
uh,
and my boss is
yeah,
probably listening right now. Chris, I hate my job. All right, we're good.
I like my job. I'm lucky. I don't hate my gig, but uh,
To be
being awful.
fair, there's just a handful of people I hate at my job that make me not
That's
want to
fair.
go there.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
All
well,
right, my
I kind of
battery
lucked out.
is got like 18% left, so let's knock these
All
out.
right, let's knock it out. So my number five, my least favorite, Charlotte versus Ronda, and I've talked about it a million times because I just don't like Charlotte. And Ronda at this time was really getting on my nerves. It was
This
WrestleMania
is the match
33.
that replaced Ronda versus Becky that everybody wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Becky broke her nose.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Yep.
Nia Jax broke Becky's nose.
Yep. Yep. That happened.
All right. My number five, WrestleMania 23, Melina versus Ashley.
Oh,
As an oldie, Ashley was
yeah.
not ready to be in a ring, especially not ready to be on a Mania match. The match was
Yeah.
extremely short. In fact, the entrances were longer than the match.
Hmm.
Uh, Melina wins. It's not good.
Yeah. Um, my number four was Molly versus Victoria, WrestleMania 20, also an oldie. But that was the hair versus title match. Whenever there's a hair versus anything match, you know the hair is going to go. And it was just a gimmicky match that was stupid. So that's all. Because those are two women that can ball out in the ring. So
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
love
need
Molly
gimmicks.
Holly.
Yeah, they didn't need gimmicks.
All right, well, I'm going to go even older then. My
Okay.
number four, WrestleMania 15, Tori versus Sable. Uh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I never thought Sable was ever good in the ring.
No.
Um, this is the era of women's wrestling is just more a TNA show and not the company.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
wasn't
No, you're
good.
absolutely right.
It's not good. And like I said, I
Yeah.
never liked anything Sable did in
My
the ring.
next three, my next three are of that same exact vein, right? So my number three, Tori versus Candice Michelle, and WrestleMania 22 was the pillow fight. It's stupid. Stop. Well, I know they're not doing it now, but back then it was so dumb. Just don't do that stuff. Tori and Candice Michelle, WrestleMania is not the place for that. Save it on Raw. Let Jerry Lawler talk about puppies.
All right, my number three is WrestleMania 30, AJ Lee versus Oksana versus Alicia Fox versus Brie Bella versus Cameron versus Emma versus Ava Marie versus Layla versus Naomi versus Natalia versus Nikki Bella versus Rosa Mendez versus Summer Rae versus Tamina Snuka. 14 women match, and it was given 7 minutes. AJ
It's
Lee
ridiculous.
wins the match by grabbing Naomi's
Yeah,
hand and forcing her hand to tap out and retains.
that's dumb.
7 minutes.
That's dumb. Almost as dumb as my number two, which was Tori Wilson and Sable versus Stacy Keibler and Jackie in WrestleMania 20 evening gown match, because Jackie in this scenario for sure, out of all of them, deserved better. So,
I agree.
not no disrespect to the rest of them, but I don't look at Tori Wilson, Sable, or Stacy Keibler as necessarily great wrestlers. Jackie was. Jackie was a good wrestler,
Yeah.
and she deserved better than this. So,
All right, my number two, WrestleMania 33.
yeah,
Natalia versus Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Mickie James versus Naomi. 6 women. This match was given 6 minutes. A
I'm
minute
starting
for
to see a
each
pattern.
girl. And James Ellsworth's dumbass to come in and try it is just dumb.
Wait,
It's bad.
which WrestleMania was your number three?
30?
Yeah, and then which one was your number two?
33.
Oh, in 3 years we made up double the time. All right, so the women got double the time in 3 years. I think that is progress. You got to be more respectful. That is progress.
The only
No,
good thing that happened is Naomi got her win back and got her championship.
yeah, that's fair. As we can see, you don't like those multi-women matches. I agree with you.
No,
My
I
number
like
one,
them. I'd like if they gave them more than fucking 5 minutes to have a match.
I probably should have been more specific. Those matches that they gave 30 seconds to each elimination to, or each participant to, should have got a little bit more. My number one was Terry versus the Cat with Val Venus, because anything with Val Venus was dumb. It was WrestleMania 16, and I couldn't stand it. So Terry versus the Cat.
Sir.
Terry
Hello,
versus the Cat.
ladies. You don't like that shit?
No, no.
Oh my god. I
Even
used
when I
to
was a
walk
kid,
around my house with a towel wrapped around my waist doing the whole Val Venus thing to nobody.
listen, I am sure that somebody out there in this world will tell you that I did that too. But I'm telling you that dude creeped me out from the beginning. I thought Val Venus was weird from the start. I was like, nobody go talk to him. Hello,
You don't
ladies
know.
should come ignored.
Do you remember when Kai and Tai cut his pee-pee off?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
I didn't watch it at that time, but I do remember that happening. So I've seen that happen, I should say. Who you got for number one?
All right, WrestleMania 27, and you tell me why I didn't like it. Layla, Michelle McCool, and Dolph Ziggler versus Trish Stratus, Snooki, and John Morrison.
Probably because CM Punk wasn't in it.
Well, that part didn't help their case.
but also the fact that Snooki was in a WrestleMania match, and that is stupid.
She had one little when she did like the handsprings across the ring and barely touched. She hit it on Michelle McCool, right?
Probably because Michelle McCool was super safe, so she probably took care of her. So
Yeah. Either way, fuck
yeah,
that match.
yeah. I mean, I love Jersey Shore. I was a Jersey Shore guy when that show was out. I wasn't out here Jim Tan in the laundry, and that didn't happen. But yeah, again get him out of WrestleMania. I don't need to see super famous people in WrestleMania. So hey, man, that was fun. We made it through that one. Am I done? Yep. So guys, check us out, man. You gotta check us out on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We are working on a Facebook. I think we kind of talked about a little bit. We got some things coming out. I've got some more, and by I mean Tyler has some more 2K25.
I do. I actually got
clips.
5 new recordings to send you from this weekend.
Cool, because I got a couple I still got to put out still from those, so we'll get some of those out here soon. But yeah, man, this was awesome. We're building up to WrestleMania. We're getting close. We've got WrestleMania, Easter, and 420 all on the same weekend, and that's what I call a holy trinity. So we'll see what happens when we get there.
For the first time in my life, this week I will be making an Instagram. It'll be Tyler from Kayfabe Marks is going to be the name. Go ahead and add it. I need to be more on the social media stuff so I can talk to listeners and take some feedback and reach out and see what else I can do. I notoriously have no social media because I hate it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do
Well,
this for the fans and my show.
once you get
Our
it,
show.
once you get it, I'll clip this part and we'll put it out there. So,
All right, great.
just good. All right, guys. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you next week. Have fun. Be stupid.
Yep. Have fun at work.